women.
Ricky Gervais, the man who treats woke culture like it's his personal piñata.
Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those fucking dinosaurs.
He absolutely loves ripping into it, and for good reason.
No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? The ones with beards and cocks. They're as good as gold. I love them. And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person isn't a lady? Well, his penis. Her penis, you fucking bigot. What if he rapes me? What if she rapes you? You fucking turf whore.
First off, Ricky is the kind of comedian who hates hypocrisy.
You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
And let's be real, woke culture is full of it. It's like they're constantly telling everyone to be compassionate and understanding, but at the same time, they're ready to cancel someone's entire existence over one wrong tweet from 2012. Ricky sees that, and his internal alarm goes off. Ah, here's something that needs a bit of brutal honesty.
The worst thing you can say today, get you cancelled on Twitter, death threats, whatever, the worst thing you can say today is, women don't have penises, right? Now, no one saw that coming. There are no 10-year-old tweets of people saying... You won't find a 10-year-old tweet of someone saying women don't have penises. Do you know why? We didn't think we fucking had to.
The thing with Gervais is that he's completely fearless when it comes to calling out this double standard. He thrives on making people uncomfortable because, to him, that discomfort is the space where truth lives. He once said, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
That's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's not, just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know? It's... offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second-guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that, but, you know, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing. So if you're saying anything, you should polarise. You should polarise, because everyone's different, so...
And that's what really gets to the heart of why he loves roasting woke culture. So much of wokeness is wrapped up in people being offended, whether it's about words, jokes, or social issues. But Ricky doesn't care about your feelings. He cares about the truth behind them.
Talking of all you perverts, it was a big year... It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. On a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him.
He loves poking holes in that fragile layer of woke sensitivity and saying, look, this outrage is ridiculous and you need to laugh at yourselves a bit more.
Our first presenter is beautiful, talented, and Jewish, apparently. Mel Gibson told me that. He's obsessed. Please welcome Scarlett Johansson.
And speaking of laughing at yourselves, that's another reason why Gervais can't stand woke people. They take themselves way too seriously. The man loves irreverence.
It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They go, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously.
He's the guy who makes jokes at funerals, the one who'll bring up death or religion and get everyone to laugh at the darkest parts of life. So, When he sees a whole group of people acting like they're on a mission to save the world through their social media posts, he can't resist tearing that down. It's like, oh, you're changing the world by complaining on Twitter? Sure, Gandhi would be proud.
Welcome to my show. It's not a show. There's no dancers or jugglers. It's basically a bloke talking, which is essentially what stand-up comedy is, isn't it? A bloke talking. Sexist. What about all the funny female comedians? Like, No. Right. No. I'm not doing that. Okay, right. That was irony. There's going to be a bit of that throughout the show. See if you can spot it, okay? Now, that's when I say something I don't really mean for comic effect, and you as an audience, you laugh at the wrong thing because you know what the right thing is. It's a way of satirising attitudes. Like that first joke, I used the old-fashioned sexist trope that women aren't funny. Now, in real life, I know there are loads of funny women. Like, I did it again, well spotted, good. But these people are virtue signalling. They're trying to bring people down to raise their own status. And they say it's because, no, we're protecting minorities. Like, they're basically saying minorities haven't got a sense of humour, which is so patronising. And I get that as well, to what it's like to be outnumbered. In this country, we're still only 5% black, 5% Asian, 5% LGBTQ, you know, tiny numbers. Now, I'm a white, heterosexual multi-millionaire, right? There's less than 1% of us. Do I whine? No. I don't mind. Just get on with it. Come on, Rick. Come on, Rick. Just keep I'm like Rosa Parks. Do you know what I mean? I'm like... Except I fought for the right to never have to take a seat on a bus. But...
Ricky's not afraid to offend people either, because to him, comedy is about freedom. In fact, he said that wokeness is one of the greatest threats to comedy because it's trying to police what people can or can't joke about. And for Gervais, that's like saying you can only paint using 2 colors. It's restrictive.
I don't want any fat people to feel uncomfortable at one of my gigs, so next time, buy 2 seats. I'm joking. I'm joking. Shut up. I'm not having a go. I'm just pointing out, you know. I was listening to the radio in England a few weeks back, Radio 4, quite highbrow. There was a discussion about political correctness. My name came up straight away, right? And there was this woman on there going, oh, yeah, well, it's not right. Ricky Gervais, he makes jokes about fat people. He wouldn't make jokes about gay people, would he? And being fat is like being gay. What? No, it's not. What? You can't choose your sexuality. As we've established, you choose whether to eat too much or not. You know, with your sexuality, you're born, you grow up, you discover you like same-sex relationships, and that's it. You're gay, okay? For being gay to be the same as being fat, you'd have to be born, be straight, grow up knowing you're straight, but gradually and consciously wean yourself onto cock.
He believes that all jokes should be allowed, even the offensive ones.
I know you can't say Chinaman anymore, right? I can't believe you ever could, because that is the laziest labelling of a demographic I've ever heard, right? So the first one lands on our shores, and we gather around going, what the fuck, where are you from, right? And he goes, China. And we go, oh, you're a Chinaman. And he goes, I'm a what? You're a Chinaman. A Chinaman? Yeah. What's my wife? Duh, Lady Chinaman. Why don't you call me by my name? I don't know your name, do I? It's Ling. Ling? Yeah. Is that your first name or your surname? Both. Ling Ling? Hello? Right.
His view is that if you start censoring humor, you lose the essence of what comedy is, an unfiltered, often uncomfortable truth about life. And woke culture, with all its rules and political correctness, is the enemy of that freedom.
There's a new type of comedy at the moment called woke comedy, right? No, it's very progressive, you know. There are some clubs now where the comedian has to sign a thing saying he won't say anything contentious or he won't say anything that could offend anyone. It's a safe space for the audience, woke comedy. And I tried to watch a bit of it, and I decided I'd rather watch Louis C.K. masturbate. I can't mention him anymore, he's cancelled. Not enough to apologise and move on. We've got to People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily the same thing. You can make jokes about any subject. It depends what the joke is.
Yeah.
There's no rules. You can't joke about this. You can.
You should be
You
able
just
to.
can. But people then they go, yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like the facts, don't change the facts, change the feelings.
Yeah.
You know.
And then there's the whole virtue signaling thing that drives him nuts.
You could be in the third world, okay, and you get a glimpse of a Hollywood star, and it makes you feel better, okay? You could be a little child, a little Asian child with no possessions and no money, but you see a picture of Angelina Jolie, and you think, Mummy. I did think of adopting for a while, a little third world child, because that would tick all 3 boxes, wouldn't it? You know? You think of it like, 1, I wouldn't be adding to the population problem. I'd be alleviating an existing problem. A young kid born through no fault of his own into abject poverty. He would have died without me. I can literally save his life and give him a great upbringing, right? 2, he would be grateful, wouldn't he? He'd want to pay me back, wouldn't he? Particularly if I let him know that all the other kids in the village, they weren't so lucky, they didn't make it out. I'd tell him that early on, so he really bucked his ideas up, right? I'd go, Tundi, come here. Yeah. Go and pop a shirt on, you're not in Africa now, mate. That's better. Yeah. Tundi, yeah, water straight out of a tap, innit? Yes. No, it's not free, it's Hampstead. Yeah, of course it's safe. Safe. Fresh drinking water. Have as much as you want. Have a bucket full. Straight out of that fresh drinking water. There you go. Go and clean the car. Go on.
Gervais despises people who use social justice as a way to make themselves look good. To him, it's just showing off. His whole shtick is making people realize they're not as good as they think they are. Woke people love to posture like they're morally superior. And Ricky's like, nah, mate, you're just as flawed as the rest of us. You're not saving the world by tweeting in a hashtag.
I've learnt my lesson. No, I have learnt my lesson, and that's why I'm going to be woke from now on. It's about time. Well, I'm sorry. Well, I am woke, and now I'm woke. The first thing I've got to do is change my Twitter bio. But now I'm woke, I've got to pop in the word anti-fascist. So people know I'm not a fascist, because that is a big problem at the moment. People come up to me on the street and they go, Rick, have you been imprisoning journalists? I go, no. They go, oh, interesting. They go, have you been gassing Jews? I go, no. They go, well, pop it in your bio then, you silly cunt.
Plus, there's something about the outrage culture that just gives him more material to work with. The moment someone gets offended by his joke, Ricky doubles down. It's like he sees that outrage and goes, oh, you're mad? Perfect. Let me make you even more uncomfortable.
Try and explain to someone every day what freedom of speech means, particularly in the context of comedy, and particularly in the context of a joke, that a joke about a bad thing isn't as bad as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It depends on the actual joke. And this woman said, you should never make jokes about food allergies. I should have left it, right? I sent back, I make jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, and the Holocaust, right? And you're telling me I should never joke about food allergies. She sent back, yes, but the Holocaust didn't kill children. Well, it did, didn't it? It was horrible, the Holocaust. Some would say as bad as food allergies.
He thrives on pushing boundaries and watching people squirm. It's not even just about making people laugh. It's about getting them to confront the absurdity of their own overreactions.
And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So.
At the end of the day, Ricky Gervais loves making fun of woke people because they represent everything he sees as a target for humor, self-righteousness, hypocrisy, and the refusal to laugh at oneself. And to Gervais, the most dangerous thing you can do is take yourself too seriously, because then you miss the joke. And in his world, everything is fair game for a joke.
Our show Supernature dropped on Netflix last year. Big backlash, wasn't there? Big backlash. People going, you can't say that. I did. The inevitable backlash, which made it the most watched special of the year. So we've come a long way from it being punishable to total equality, as it should be, of course. In England, the gay age of consent, same as heterosexuality now, 16, and even gay marriage. Although, ironically, the one place that was really ahead of the game fell behind a little at the last election, California. They had a referendum, they put it to the vote, and they voted no to gay marriage. I mean, in California, there's people going, that's why we moved here. I mean, it's a strange sort of bigotry that you can affect someone else's lifestyle that doesn't affect you back. It's not like they asked a bloke once, said, sorry, do you mind if these two men get married? He went, no, fine, okay, jack them off then. What? I didn't know that was... That doesn't happen, does it? That doesn't happen. It's also a strange sort of bigotry because these people that object to that were presumably the same people that said, you know, gay people were immoral and promiscuous, but now they don't want to be monogamous and respectful in the eyes of God. And it must be so confusing to a gay guy in California thinking, that's the bit they don't like. With all the other shit we get up to, it's the marriage bit that must so confuse. They must go to judges and go, sorry, can I get the rules straight? What do you want to know? I just need to know what we can and can't do. Ask away. Can I marry a man? No. Can I fuck him up the arse and give him a little reach round? Please.